by Lesiba Mothupi, and today we're gonna be speaking about, let me just put this here because I know someone out there is gonna be like, hey, what's going on? Why are you putting your belt like that? But unfortunately we are comfortable being like this, like for me it's comfortable being like this compared to being like this, because at the end, it's this thing is strangling me. I come from being strangled every day, so obviously I don't want to be strangled now when I'm in the car. I want to be comfortable. But yeah, topic of today, guys, so we're gonna be speaking about what it actually takes to be successful. So what inspired this video, what inspired this topic? So to be honest, guys, there have been a lot of ups and downs through my journey as an entrepreneur. I've seen myself have some big accomplishments, and at the same time I've seen myself literally being at positions where I didn't think that I'd be there. And I know why. It's not something that I'm clueless, I have no idea on what's happening and stuff. I know why. I'm an entrepreneur at the end, and I know these things are meant to happen, or they should actually happen. So what I'll do is that I'll speak it in terms of lists, and you guys can come through and just be able to observe those lists, what it is that I'm saying is point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, and point 5. Hopefully we get 2.5. But this video is also here for me to be able to just watch at a later stage, whereby I can be able to know certain things and how to actually move forward with certain stuff. Shangel. So I can as well be able to move forward with certain experiences and journeys, because at the end, guys, some of these videos, they actually do help me out. I won't lie, some of these videos that I do, I actually even do them for myself, because at the end I can still come back and watch the video and be like, oh, okay, yeah, or that's my mindset, or that was my mindset at this time, or I've actually grew, or I'm still in the same position, I need to do something. So at the end, these videos as well help me. So I need to also be able to just look back, because I always get questions such as, what would you tell your younger self? And to be honest, I don't know what I would tell my younger self, because my younger self was going through tough experiences, and my younger self was seeing dust and stuff. So I don't even know what I would tell him, because first of all, if I say don't do this, my younger self was starving, my younger self was hungry. So automatically that doesn't make sense if I say don't do this or do this, because there's no concentration, I'm hungry. So yeah, this would also help, when I can look back in the next few years, maybe 4 years from now, when I'm 28 years old, I'll be able to look back and be like, oh, when I was still I'm this age, this is what happened, this is what I went through, this is what I was going through, this is how I solved it. Wow, oh, okay, I've actually grew from that situation. So that helps a bit. And yeah, but let's get straight to it. So what's gonna happen is that I'll be giving you guys the first point, and the first point that I believe what it actually takes to be successful as a hustler, as an entrepreneur, as someone that believes in themselves, is obviously it's discipline and their patience. So discipline and patience. So what I mean by this is the discipline, not even just discipline and patience, but discipline, patience, and focus. I think that's one thing, but let me just put it that way. Because at the end, what it takes is that discipline helps you be able to stay focused towards a specific goal or specific task or specific responsibility that you've got. So you being disciplined, it means that knowing that you've got to complete this tonight, and maybe that night you're tempted to go do something, or you're tempted to go somewhere else. Automatically what happens is that when you've got the discipline, you are able to say no, or you're able to say right. There have been a lot of situations that I actually wanted to be involved in. I wanted to do those things so bad, but because of the discipline that I had in me, it didn't allow me to be able to enjoy those experiences. So let's say, for instance, one of the perfect examples that I've had, was back in my older days, when I was still pushing and hustling. I believe not even just barely go out, because I believe everyone can say that the barely went out. On my side, it wasn't the thing of I barely went out. It was the thing of I knew I shouldn't be doing certain things anymore. I just came from being in the streets all day. I came from always I'm not having clear specific goals and responsibilities and duties, to now being in a position whereby I've got those things and I have to protect them. I come from not even having to worry about rent to now paying rent and having bills, having no bills to having bills. So obviously I've got to be disciplined enough to be able to make the same moves that I did make in order to still be able to show up and pay my bills end of the month, and still start doing things such as like going out, enjoying my money and doing all those things. But instead, I even invested back into business. Like I believe I spent like more than over like maybe 7 million that I've put in the business, like only in just a simple year. Like maybe last year on its own, I've put back like over 7 million in business, just so I want to see it grow, I want to see it win, I want to see it move forward, you know, those things. So those are things that I actually invest more in, like, you know, seeing or having that discipline to put money back in. Like when you know that shit, I can take 7 million and go get myself this cool thing, or go ball, or go do this. That's like, you know, it's gonna be nice. Like, you know, people, you'll be celebrated. People will be like, oh, you're a star and stuff. No one sees that you actually took 7 million, put it back in business. But if you've got the discipline to know what you want and what you're working towards, then obviously you're gonna be enjoying the benefits of your rewards, even if it's not like, you know, same time or a few months later, but even if it happens to be like, you know, years down, because at the end you are the one that knows what you're working towards. You are the one that's actually looking at the bigger picture. So you know that maybe this month you're making 100k a month, and someone out there, it's a lot for them, but you know deep down that 100k a month is not that much. Or even your target is like maybe 3 million a month compared to 100k a month. So what do? You have to take that money that you're making, put it back into business up until it scales up and you get to a level where you're making 3 million a month, because that's your goal, that's your target. So that's what the first point that I had. It's being able to be disciplined enough and have focus in order to be patient to get into those disciplinary acts that you'll be following through with. What's happening? We just got back from the stores, so I had to quickly go to the stores and get some stuff. But I done that, I won. So yeah, I'll be coming back with the second point for you guys. So let me just make sure that I'm comfortable. Okay guys, so coming back to the second point, the second tip of what it actually takes into you becoming a successful entrepreneur, into you becoming one that, like, you know, gets to be able to face challenges, obstacles, you know, failures, whatever that you can call it, but you still wake up at the end of the day, and you still wake up in the beginning of the day, and you show up and you do what it takes, and you go back home knowing that you've done your part of the day, daily duties. So what it takes is actually consistency and the persistent. So I remember even a few days ago, me and my brother, we watched if you guys know the movie Founders, I've watched it multiple times. There's movies that I actually do prefer watching multiple times, like Founders, like even Trading Places. There's a movie Trading Places, I love that one there. I also watched recently. But with Founders, one thing that I like is that obviously, like in that movie, what happened is that the it's actually about McDonald's name. McDonald's was actually found by two brothers, which are the McDonald's brothers. And once they found that company, like, you know, they've been doing the same, like they were pushing the business restaurant in a way whereby it was like, you know, I'm okay for them, and they were basically living month to month, and like they were not like, you know, very successful, but they were like okay, like, you know, getting by, being able to pay bills and stuff. And up until they came through this other one man, he liked how their automated system was, and the way that they produced their food was, like the way they made their burgers and stuff, the automated way of serving their clients. He fell in love with that, and then he had an idea of, I can make this big, I can, you know, grow this and stuff. So he was very persistent, and the McDonald's brothers didn't see that vision, they didn't see it that way. They kept on rejecting and saying no to whatever he had offered or wanted to come up with, but they kept on saying no, up until that guy at the end, he eventually became smarter, or someone that was like a lawyer and stuff helped him, and they said, you know, you can actually, because he opened up like multiple franchises, but he signed a deal with, like, you know, McDonald's family, that whatever that he does with the company still falls under McDonald's. So regardless of how many franchises he opens, there was a time whereby he was broke. He was like literally on zero, and he had like over 30 franchises, but he was broke. And then some guy was like, you know what, rather register this company, but you can call it McDonald's Incorporation. I think it's the McDonald's Incorporation. Yeah, register, and then this company is not about burgers and food. No, your company is about real estate. What you do is that you sell real estate. So the way, because he was actually taking a loan and, like, you know, building restaurants for people and stuff, which would cost him money. But what they've done is that they've changed the whole structure and the whole business model in a way whereby he's no longer doing that, but he's actually selling leases to these people. Like, people pay him for rent, they pay him lease, they pay for also the training for the team and stuff. So like, he was now selling something much more bigger than just the burger, because with burgers they literally made close to 0% on profit margins. But So yeah, that was it. So with that, what I'm trying to say is that the other guy was a bit more persistent. He came up with ideas every single day. He was thinking of creating something new. And every single day he just wanted to pull through and show up and be a better person. He was literally doing a lot of things. He was pushing more than the brothers themselves. The brothers were too comfortable. He was the one that went out there and got everything. So one thing that I took from him is that he was persistent and consistent. So consistent meaning that each and every day having to wake up, even if the day is a negative day or the previous day you lost and things didn't go your way, but having to wake up that specific day and saying that I'm still gonna continue doing this because I still believe that this thing is gonna work. That is powerful. That is one of the most powerful things that I believe a person can have. If you're consistent on anything, you will get that. Let me say, for instance, if you want for some young guys out there, if you want a beautiful girl that you've been seeing and and she maybe doesn't even notice you or doesn't give you attention, the same way that you'd want something, maybe a house, a car, and it doesn't even notice you, that house doesn't even think that you'd live in it. But if you are persistent enough to check up on that lady, send the daily messages, whatever that it takes, let's say you're sending a daily messages, you're sending a nightly messages, you are caring for her, you are helping her out. Obviously you are the person that now she's gonna start thinking of in terms of the next person that I can go to is this person. So there's a higher chance of you winning that person over. Just like the same way, if you want that house or you want that car or whatever that you're wanting, and each and every single day you are doing what you're going to that house, you want to end up even getting used to how the house is, where the corners are. Even the house is going to get used to seeing you there. So obviously it's going to be maybe this is my owner, maybe this is my owner, So the most important thing that I'm trying to say here is that you need to be persistent and consistent with what you are doing. Remember, this video that I'm doing here is to inspire, to help you as well. Also, it's gonna come back to me. It's gonna inspire and help me too, because also on my side there's things that I actually do learn from me, and there's things that I take down from me. And the only way I can actually benefit from those experiences is if I can put myself in your shoes, and then I can learn while coming back as an audience now, not as a person that produced the content, but now as a consumer, so I can consume the information, and it helps out because I'm able to take points and I'm able to see my mindset and I'm able to move forward with it. But that's the second one, and I think I'm gonna leave with the third one. I'm gonna come with the third one and I'll end it with the third one because I can see the video is already too long. Guys, and while I'm recording this video, I actually drove past our previous offices where our office spot used to be at, mid-red location. So yeah, felt amazing. That's also something that that kept me going, that pushed me, because at the end of the day, we moved out, you guys do know that we moved out from that spot. And yeah, I've been actually I did speak about it. So we are actually looking into moving into new spots and stuff, but I feel like the business is actually gonna go forward in a much more different way. The way that I had initially started it wasn't supposed to even be that way, because at the end the plans that I've actually got for the business, where yeah, it did play a part, some of the things that I've done were some plans and stuff, but that wasn't the long-term picture. That was me testing specific stuff, testing the market, let me put it that way, seeing what would work and what wouldn't work. And I noticed some of the mistakes that I made, and I noticed some of the positives that I've done. So moving forward, I know how I'm gonna be moving forward. I've got those strategies down and stuff, but I just need to know move forward with the right steps and right systems in place, because there's a lot of me, when you are young, I just wake up and I just want to see myself going to the office because I was bored working at home, on which I could have just stayed at home. And I just got an office spot and I started hiring people to a point where I hired over 19 people at a specific time. So that was the whole situation, whereby even payroll, you can imagine, having to make sure that you make payments to 19 people, having to make sure that you still keep on the look of this office spot on its own. Office spots, there's also I took on one thing that I didn't notice is that I took on multiple expenses while I was actually looking at the return on investment. I took a lot of things that were taking money out while I wasn't looking on the return on investments. And you'd have people that would as well pull through with that different types of mindsets and knowledge, and they don't really know what it takes to make a business. But yeah, we're still pushing, we're still moving forward, and there's a lot of bigger and better plans that I've got for actually this team. So I was just letting you guys know that we actually did move from the previous spot, and I'll be updating you guys once we do happen to get a spot, because there was actually a spot that we saw, but it's not in our plans, it's not in our goals, like it's not what I'm looking for. Yeah. Ciao, my brother. Yeah. Yo, guys, what's happening? We're back for the third point. Obviously, we started. I had to go to the barber man and do my things. So fortunately now, because I've been in the house for like maybe 2 weeks. So when you go in, when you're in the house and you have nowhere else to go and you're just hustling and doing your things on your laptop and stuff, you barely get time to cut your hair and stuff, because where you going? But yeah, we done there, and I'm safe. So fortunately also my lady's at the airport. I was gonna collect her, but it's late time, it's not on my side. And actually I met up with one brother of mine. Like every time when I pull through at the barber, he's always happy, excited, and he's like, no, today take me for a ride. So he had to jump in, and we just hit like a quick spin. I could have recorded that moment, but I laid low. So we just took a spin, and he's like, you know what, you'll be the first person that I call when I buy my car. I was like, no, salute, I like that, I like seeing that. But yeah, guys, so speaking about it, we're on the third point of what it really takes for you to be successful. And I think one of the most important things out of all the tips and advices and things that you can do, the skills, obviously there's things such as obviously you have to learn skills and stuff, but out of everything, the most important thing that you can stick to or believe into doing is you need to remain being yourself. You need to remain being yourself. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that obviously when you need money, when you want to be successful, when you need money, it's not, your end goal is not to have money to be successful. If that is your end goal, then that sucks. Like, why would your end goal be something like that? Like, to just have money, what are you gonna do with the money? Do you understand? Like, that should be your end goal. What are you gonna do with your money? What's your purpose? Like, once you get money, what are you gonna be able to do? So when I say you need to be yourself, is you need to focus more on money being a resource. Money shouldn't be what actually makes you you. Money shouldn't be something that actually turns you around and makes you be confident and 1, 2, 3. No. What's your, you've got money, you've got resources now. I'm sorry, my brother in the corner. So what happened is that I actually got a call, and then eventually I had to just lay low and get home, because yeah, that's what the call was all about. But yeah, just by finishing off, I just want to finish off before I can call it a day for me. The most important thing that you need to be doing is to literally focus more on being yourself, because once you are yourself, all you need is resources. So if you need money, if you need to be successful, if you need money to be successful, if you need all those things, that means that you only need those resources in order to still continue being yourself and get to your ultimate goal. So don't let that get in between whatever that you've got. It's okay even at some point you end up losing money because you are yourself. Money shouldn't change some of the things that you do, but instead, obviously, you can't be yourself, because in terms of, you can't be doing the same things that you've been doing years ago, because if you were, you'd have money or you'd be successful, because we're speaking about you being successful. But that doesn't mean that you need to change completely. I'm still myself. I 100% still believe that I'm still the same kid that would walk kilometers to school, that would literally do whatever that I still believe the same. Just today I was on a video call with one of my friends from the hood. Maybe I'll just put a video or something, but I was on a video call with one of my friends from the hood just today, checking up on him and stuff, and nothing bad happened or anything like that, because at the end it's still the same thing. But I've changed my habits, I changed my doings. Now I read books more. I never used to like books. I'm always in the house. The last 2 weeks, I think I've never really went out. I don't watch TV. All those small things. It's just small things, just habits that actually changed, but I'm still myself. So boy, this Mothupi, still me. I'm still here. I'll be here whether we are on over $10 million, $100 million, whatever number we'll be touching and stuff, whatever number we're gonna be at, our net worth, it doesn't change us, because at the end, it's us that created that net worth. It's not the net worth that created us. And yeah, I'll be doing the giveaway like I did tell you guys. I'll be releasing what the giveaway is gonna be, what the giveaway is gonna be actually be about, how it goes, and you guys are gonna be taking part of that. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next YouTube video.